welcome to today's class. For today, there are no props required, so whenever you have your space to flow, let's go ahead and meet into Tadasana at the back of the mat. And when coming into your space, feel free to shift your weight, bounce on the toes, on the heels, sway the hips. And just give yourself a moment to come into your body, come onto your mat. Maybe get the arms involved. Again, anything you need to kind of just shimmy out whatever lingering, unnecessary energy is sticking around, so that you can go ahead and be present here in your space, bringing your mind, your body, your breath onto your mat. So just giving yourself the opportunity to kind of get those little fidgets out of the way in order to arrive and find some stillness. You can bring your hands to heart center. You can have your arms draped down by your sides, fingertips reaching to the floor. Whatever kind of comes naturally to you in this moment. Feel free to close your eyes if that allows you to center into yourself. As you study into your breath, maybe setting an intention for you in your practice today. Arriving onto your mat to move your body. Find a nice steady flow, creating space, and just moving around some energy. So whatever intention comes to you, just go ahead and set it before we go ahead and get your body moving. And go ahead and blink the eyes open if you close them. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Reach the body nice and long. Spread yourself nice and tall. And then grab hold of the left wrist. A nice little side body stretch over towards the right side. Finding nice length through the left side of the body. And you can go straight over towards the right, maybe even bowing through the back side of that left rib cage. Maybe reaching on a diagonal towards the top right corner of the mat if that feels good. Inhale back to that right side, come up to standing, reach tall, switch grip, grab hold of that right wrist, reach tall, and then bow over towards the left side. Opening up through that right rib cage, let some new breath in. Find some new length, staying here, nice and stacked, or maybe bowing through the back right corner of that rib cage as you tilt the fingertips towards the left corner of the mat. Really opening up through the back right side of the body, and then inhale back towards that left side, and then up through center. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, cactus the elbows down towards the hips. Open the chest. Gaze up towards the sky. Inhale, pull it all in. Hands to heart center, close the eyes. 3 breaths here. Feeling the earth beneath the soles of your feet, grounding down into your space. Inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead, big reach. Exhale, hands come through heart center as you hinge at the hips, forward fold. Nice and slow, you make your way down. As your fingertips come down to the earth, finishing that fold. Inhale, nice and slow, reach that chest and heart forward, come into a halfway lift. Exhale, find that fold. Really feel the lift of the hips up and back in space. As you reach the head, the collarbones down towards the top of the feet. Head hangs heavy. On your next inhale, go ahead and plant the hands, walk them out in front of you, coming into a high plank pose for just a pause. Integrate here in this space, pause in this little transition point, and then drop the hips, keep the toes tucked, come into an upward facing dog, lifting through the low belly as you open up through the front body. Really pressing down through the heels of the hands, feel that stretch, that opening through through the core, through the front of your hips. And then go ahead and drop the knees, untuck the toes, sit the hips back in space, child's pose. Keeping, maybe walking those fingertips a little bit longer out in front of you, rounding down through the low back as you reach that tailbone towards the heels. Resting the forehead down onto the mat. And letting your belly fall just between the thighs. So not a particularly wide child's pose, not a particularly narrow one. Just finding a nice happy medium where you can settle into your hips. And then go ahead and slowly walk the hands over towards the right side, keeping that left sit bone anchored toward the heel. And feel free to keep both palms down onto the floor, reaching through those fingertips. Or if you want a little extra sensation, maybe coming onto the back side of that left hand, still reaching and maybe pressing down into the back of the hand, feeling the opening within the left armpit. With every exhale, you settle deeper into this little space here. And then go ahead and walk the hands back through center, coming over towards the right side. Walking those hands over as far as you'd like. And maybe keeping both palms down towards the earth. Or if you want an extra sensation underneath that right armpit, flipping the palm up towards the sky, rotating that shoulder nice and open, and then settling down into the back of that right hand, while keeping that length to open up underneath that right armpit. Walk the hands back through center, child's pose, on the exhale. From here, you're going to find a few nice, easy breezy spinal waves towards the top of the mat. So go ahead and grip down into the earth, find a nice rounding of the spine, moving through cat pose. Try and incorporate every segment. And then once the shoulders come over top the wrists, you drop the hips. You unfurl the chest, open the body towards the top of the mat. Upward facing dog or high cobra. And then exhale, send the hips back in space, finding a nice cow pose. And then reaching that tailbone towards the heels, finding child's pose. 2 more rounds, inhale. Draw and pull the body forward, hiding the heart until you're ready to shine it towards the top of the mat as you pull up into high cobra. Pressing those hips down towards the earth as you lift through the belly. Exhale, send those hips back. Inhale, pull forward. Nice and slow, like you're drawing yourself through a nice sluggish little pace here. Pull the body through, lift up. Exhale. Child's pose. And on the next inhale, pull yourself up into a tabletop position. Bring those knees parallel to one another. And then slowly shift the weight over those wrists. A few little warm-ups here. Working into the wrists, the hands, the fingers. And then once you start to create a little bit more space there, slowly starting to incorporate the movement within the spine. Taking some freedom with your cat-cows, your barrel rolls. Find a little self-expression here in this moment to feel what feels good. Move into whatever space feels good. Linger where you'd like to. Just try to create space for yourself, and where that is needed is different for everybody. So it's nice to have a few moments of freedom to really explore for yourself. And within the next breath or so, settling into your tabletop position, kind of growing out and away from the earth as you plant down through the heels of the hands, slight grip through the fingertips, untucking the toes so the shins, the tops of the feet are nice and grounded. You should feel nice and tall and strong in this space here. And from here, go ahead and favor the right hand, the left shin, as you lift up through the left hand, the right leg. Coming into a bird dog position, still staying lifted. On the exhale, draw that left elbow to the right knee. Engage the core as you dome through the upper back. Inhale, lift, reach long. Exhale, drive in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, drive in. Inhale, open up. Create length. Feel the pull of the left fingertips, the reach of those right toes, while you're staying strong and connected within the center of your body here. Then go ahead and drop the left hand back down to meet the right. Kickstand that left leg over. As you reach those right toes toward the back of the mat, right arm sweeps up and overhead, coming into a fallen gate pose here. Really reaching through that right leg as you reach through that right arm. Opening through the right side of the body. Allowing that to feel nice and expansive. Deep inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and press down through the left side as you reach the right arm up towards the sky. Right leg lifts, so you're in a modified plank here. Staying stacked within the hips. Go ahead and bend that right knee so that the heel comes towards the bottom. Grab hold of the right ankle if that's accessible. And then kick the top of the right foot into that right hand. Feel the opening within the front of that right hip. Opening within the right shoulder. Strong within your left side so you're nice and supported here in this space. Slowly go ahead and let go. Come back through that modified plank. Exhale. Drop that right foot down, reaching into that gate pose once more. Keep reaching through those right fingertips until the right hand comes down to meet the left. Kickstand the left foot back, right knee comes in to meet it. And then go ahead and take 3 rounds of more organized, more structured cat-cow. So on the next inhale, drop the belly. Ripple through the spine as you pull the chest and heart forward. Gaze lifts. Exhale, round. As you tuck the chin towards your chest, you spread those shoulder blades wide. You tuck the tailbone underneath you. Inhale. Cow pose. Reaching back through those sit bones as you pull the gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, round. Inhale. Cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, tabletop position. Shifting our weight onto that opposite side, so favor the left hand, right shin. As you inhale, reach that right arm forward, that left leg back. Feel that pull as you lengthen from the belly, but stay strong and integrated in that space. Exhale, pull it in. Make that connection, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach long. Feel the draw from the fingertips through the toe tips, lifted through the belly. And then go ahead and drop that right hand down to meet the left. Kickstand that right leg over as you lift into a modified plank. Stacking the hips. And then drop those left toes towards the back of the mat. Reach the left arm up and overhead. Feel that expansion. Breathe into that left rib cage. Use that right hand to kind of help puff up through the left side of the body. Then on that exhale, go ahead and lift through the outer edge of that left leg. Reach the left fingertips towards the sky. You can pause here, or you can bend the knee, heel towards your bottom, grab hold of that left ankle. Stay here, or find more expansion. Kick and drive the top of that left foot into the hand. Open the front body. Let this feel good. Let it feel nice and opening. Nice refreshing breath. As you open through that left side a little bit more. Nice and slow, let it go. Come back through modified plank for a pause. And then on that next breath, go ahead and drop that left foot. Left hand reaches up and over. Feel that expansion once more. Press those hips forward. And then exhale. Reach those left fingertips until the left hand meets the right. Bring those feet, oh my goodness, bring those legs back to neutral tabletop. We made it. And then go ahead, we're going to come into another 3 rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, finding that cow pose as you lift those sit bones, that tailbone back behind you. Pull the chest and heart forward. Spread those collarbones wide. Exhale, round it out. Spread everything out and open through the back body. Inhale. Ripple that energy forward. Use the heel of the hands to draw the chest, the heart towards the top. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale back to that tabletop position. From here, go ahead and extend that right leg out and back behind you, keeping the hands planted, grounded down through the top of that left shin and top of that foot there. Keep those hip points aiming towards the floor. From here, go ahead and bend that right knee. Draw open that knee, that hip, drive the right knee to right elbow. Extend long, inhale. Exhale, drive right knee, right elbow. Inhale, reach it back and long. Exhale, drive right knee, right elbow. Make that connection, feel that drive. And then open that hip a little bit more to bring the right foot outside the right hand. Once you come into this space, if you need a bigger stance here, feel free to walk the left toes back behind you, finding a nice low lizard lunge here. Breathe into this space. Feel free to shift your weight left to right, kind of shimmying those hips down and sinking closer down towards the earth. Go ahead and find your nice low lizard lunge. Use the fingertips to help draw the chest, the heart forward. And then exhale, send those hips back in space, right toes lift, half splits pose. Inhale, pull your chest and heart forward, come back into that low lizard lunge. Press those hips down closer towards the earth. Pause at the end of your space, your range. And then exhale, send those hips back, half splits. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, draw the chest, the heart forward, come back into that low lizard lunge. And then go ahead and use the right hand inside that right knee and open the hip a little bit more. Keep allowing those hips to fall a little bit closer towards the earth as your body allows. And then go ahead and plant down through that right big toe. Plant the left hand. Inhale that right arm up and over towards the sky. Come into a twisted lizard lunge. Staying grounded through the back left leg. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. And then reach that right arm up and overhead as you turn onto the outer blades of both feet, coming into a horizon lunge. You can sink the hips low. You can stay lifted. And then go ahead and come back through, spinning onto the heel of the toes. Find that low lunge once more. Drop that back knee. And then go ahead, press through the heels of the hands, back toes, to free up that right leg to meet the left. Knees come slightly wider than the hips, sink back, child's pose. Take a breath, feel the difference left to right as you sink into this space. And go ahead on the next inhale, pull yourself up into tabletop position. Rearrange your space, find that nice strong and stable starting point. And then on the inhale, lift that left leg back behind you. Square those hips, strong in the arms. On the exhale, open that right knee up and over to tap the left elbow. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, open and drive. Left knee, left elbow. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, drive. Feel that connection. And then open that hip a little bit more. Left foot comes outside the left hand. Walk those right toes back in space as you need to wriggle yourself into that low lunge. Untucking the back toes, fingertips guide your heart towards the top of the mat, hips sink low. Feel that opening all across that right hip into the torso. Feel free to wiggle that left knee in and out to kind of create space for yourself, a space that feels good. And on the exhale, send the hips back, left toes lift as you come back into Ardha Hanuman half splits pose. Drawing that left heel down and into the earth so you feel a little bit more lengthening within the back of that left leg, but still staying nice and soft in that left knee. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Heart lifts. Exhale, send the hips back, hiding the heart. Inhale, pull that heart forward. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Plant that right hand. Bring that left hand towards the inside of that left knee, coming onto the outer blade of that left foot. Open the hips if that feels good. Giving yourself a little bit more support, a little bit more encouragement, maybe to find a little bit more space, more depth. Plant that left foot back down. Inhale that left arm up and overhead, twisted lizard lunge. Feel the twist all the way through the belly as you reach that left arm up towards the sky. Rounding down through the top of that right foot to keep your shape lifted. And then go ahead and tuck those back toes. Lift the back knee, pause here. And then slowly turn onto the outer blades of both feet. You can keep the left arm reaching towards the sky, reaching up and overhead. Or if you want a low horizon lunge, you can always sink the hips, reach the left fingertips towards the back of the mat. Again, find your variation, your exploration that feels good. Nice and slow, spin onto that left heel, back toes. Come back into that low lunge, drop the knee, chest and heart forward. Plant the hands, bring the left foot back to meet the right, tuck those toes, coming into a downward facing dog. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more symmetrical in this shape. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Round and ripple the spine. Find a nice spinal wave all the way towards the top of the mat into plank pose. Pause, and then drop the hips. Roll over the toes. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop the knees, come back into tabletop position. Nice and strong, lifted, supportive, engaged tabletop here. Inhale, that right leg lifts up and back behind you, strong in the core. Bend that right knee, open that right hip as you drive that right knee towards right elbow, foot plants outside the hand. Walk that back foot a little bit further towards the back edge of the mat. As you inhale, lift yourself up into low lizard lunge. Exhale, send the hips back, half splits. Inhale, pull forward, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Maybe finding a little bit more ease as you approach this shape. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, pull the body forward. Find that low lizard lunge. Maybe connect right hand to the knee to open that right knee up. Find some space. Close it off. Left hand plants. Inhale, right arm lifts up and towards the sky. Find a twisted lizard lunge. Keep that twist, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Spin onto the outer blades of both feet. Find that horizon lunge in whatever expression feels good for you. Still trying to kind of pull that right hip and to stack on top of the left. And then spin on that right heel, back toes. Find that twisted lizard lunge once more. And then untuck those back toes, bring the left heel towards your bottom, grab hold of that left ankle, finding that connection to deepen your space, deepen your twist, finding opening within the hips. Let go of your hold, back toes tuck, hands frame that front foot, lift the back knee, send the hips back, pyramid pose. Drop that left heel heavy towards the earth, pulling that right hip back in space. Come back into that front knee. Hands plant. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Roll over those toes. Keep the toes tucked or untucked, upward facing dog. Exhale. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Drop the knees down to the earth, coming into tabletop position. Working onto that second side. Strong into the hands, into the top of that right foot. Inhale, left leg lifts up and back behind you. Find a nice, strong, supportive space. Before you bend that left knee, open that hip and drive the left knee towards the left elbow. Find that connection to plant the left foot outside the left hand. Walk the right foot back behind you as you sink into that low lizard lunge. Drop the hips, lift through the low belly, and pull the collarbones nice and wide. Feel your depth. Exhale, send the hips back in space, left toes lift, half splits. Inhale, pull forward, low lunge. Exhale, sit back, half splits. One more round, inhale, pull forward. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, pull yourself into that low lunge. Plant the right hand. Inhale, find that twisted lizard lunge, twisting through the belly, reaching through those left fingertips. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, settle into this position. Feel the hips sink, and then spin onto the outer blades of both feet. Find your variation of horizon lunge. Pull that left hip back to stack in your space. Keeping that left hand lifted, spin on that left heel, those right toes. Find that lifted twisted lizard lunge, and then drop that back knee. Keep reaching those left fingertips towards the back of the room. As you bring that right heel towards the bottom, grab hold of that right ankle. Find that connection if it's available to you. Feeling that shoulder blade hug the back body on the left side. Feeling that right shoulder press away from the right ear. Let go of your hold. Left hand comes inside the right foot, or you can frame that front left foot. Go ahead and lift the back knee. Send the hips back in space, coming into pyramid pose. Depending on how narrow or wide your stance is, you can adjust your hands, that front foot, as you see fit. And then come back into that left knee, plant the hands. Left foot comes back to meet the right. And then drop the hips, roll over those toes, upward facing dog. Open the body up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift those hips. Roll over top the toes, drop the knees. Untuck the toes, sit hips to heels, Vajrasana. Feel free to close your eyes. Just take a moment or two to come to your breath. From here, we're going to find a few rounds of circle camel. We're only just going to go from one side to the next. So take a breath to prepare. And on your next inhale, go ahead and plant the right fingertips behind those right toes. Sweep the left arm up and overhead, extend the hips forward. Reach the left fingertips back behind you. Exhale, sit the hips down. Left fingertips behind left toes, right arm sweeps up and overhead. Exhale, hips to heels. Right hand plants, left arm sweeps up and over. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm up and overhead. Exhale, lower. Both fingertips come behind their respective feet. And then go ahead, tuck the tailbone underneath you, and then press those hips forward. Roll those shoulders out and open as you come into a nice front body opener. Maybe the gaze comes towards the sky. Maybe the head falls back. Nice and slow. Unravel as the hips come down towards the heels. Prop yourself up onto your shins. And then slowly walk the hands out in front of you. Fingertips come to the top corners of the mat as you slowly drop the chest down towards the floor. Hips stay up towards the sky puppy pose. Allow for the chest to heart to sink heavy towards the earth as those hips stay lifted up towards the sky, finding a nice long spine here. Gently press down through that left palm, just to give yourself a little bit of space to thread the right arm underneath the left armpit, coming down onto right ear, right shoulder, keeping those hips lifted towards the sky. Press through the top of that left hand, or the palm of that left hand. Free up the right. Settle into your puppy pose for just a breath. And then press through the right palm. Give yourself enough room to thread the left arm underneath the right armpit. Drop onto that left shoulder, left ear. Press through the palm of the right hand, free yourself up. One more breath here in puppy pose. Walk your hands back enough to find your way into child's pose. More narrow stance here as your belly is supported by the thighs. And breathing into the side bodies, the back of the rib cage. And slowly walk the hands back towards your knees, coming into Vajrasana once more. And in this space, go ahead and close the eyes. Soften the gaze. And rest the palms of your hands onto your thighs. Maybe here in this space you feel a nice sense of lengthening throughout the spine. Maybe a little less tension within the hips. And hopefully, as you step off of your mat at the end of class today, you're feeling a lot lighter, a lot more free with your movement, and just in tune with your mind, your body, your breath. Here is where I'm going to be leaving you today. Feel free to take any final positions of rest that are calling for you here in this moment. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for practicing with me and for being here with me in class today. If you liked today's class or any of my classes, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my new postings that come out every Monday at noon. Thank you again so much, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Have an awesome rest of your day.